Good morning and welcome in. Dan Hardbrook, glad to have you along. Let's take a look at your latest local news from around the region. It is Wednesday, and this is your Newberry News Update on M123 FM. Your local news is brought to you by your three-time award-winning local newspaper of the year. It's the Newberry News. This week, it's a special edition, an all-good news issue of the Newberry News, and it's available now. Here's a look at some of the special stories we're bringing you this week. Back in the air, Bill Van Effen is flying high again, rebuilding his life after a horrifying accident. Famed loon Faye has two new downy chicks out at the Seney National Wildlife Refuge. Swimmers are making their way along the path the Edmund Fitzgerald's final voyage. Meet the owl banders of Whitefish Point. Learn about the Village of Newberry's new project that will light up one local park. Those are just some of the stories coming your way in an all good news special edition of the Newberry News, available now. In your latest local news this morning, the Tequamanon Logging Museum has good news for those visiting the area, as well as locals eagerly anticipating the return of a popular program. The Tequamanon Logging Museum, just north of downtown Newberry, has a fully finished and remodeled cook shack floor, and breakfasts will return to the popular destination later this summer. Following major issues with the Logging Museum's cook shack floor, crews went to work to help remodel the facility and help preserve popular programs at the Tequamanon Logging Museum. When issues with the cook shack floor were discovered earlier this year, the museum's board of directors were forced to cancel their famous lumberjack breakfast scheduled for May, June, and July. Those programs are one of the main sources of income for the museum, which welcomes visitors who want to learn about the lumberjack heritage of the Tequamanon area. After several months of repairs, a new floor has been installed, and Tequamanon Logging Museum officials are announcing that the lumberjack breakfast program will return in August. Support structures for the floor were discovered to be rotten, likely because the grounds around the museum is in a wetland area for part of the year. Alvin Miller and his crew from Engadine removed the old cook shack floor and installed all new custom material. Work began in early July, but the project was delayed for approximately 3 weeks while material was being made. Work also involved removing and reinstalling the 12-burner wood cook stove, which is a staple of the lumberjack breakfast. The stove is an authentic piece of history, which came from the Peacock Farm in Holbert. The museum also installed solar panel powered fans for ventilation in the crawl space. Locals say that the projects have been a part of upgrades and that people are anxiously awaiting for breakfast to return. Tequamanon Logging Museum announcing that their first breakfast for 2025 will now be Saturday, August 23rd from 7 a.m. to noon. To check out the new cook shack floor and learn more about the renovations, check out today's good news issue of the Newberry News. The Tequamanon Area Public Library is adding a list of award-winning books that you can't find anywhere else. There's nothing more relaxing than reading a good book on a nice, beautiful day in the Upper Peninsula. And the most recent order of ALA award-winning and nominated materials has arrived at our local library. Tequamanon Area Public Library says they're beginning the process of adding new books to the catalog. You can check out a list of the new award-winning material in this week's Good News issue of the Newberry News. The library also announcing the addition of a new staff member, Shannon Lane. She was a student and graduate of Tequamanon area schools, earned an undergraduate degree from the University of Michigan. Go Blue. We are slowly expanding the library of things, a popular attraction at the library as well. Games, rock hunting kits, gardening kits, a telescope, and much more will all be available this summer. For more information, contact the Tequamanon Area Public Library. Helen Newberry Joy Hospital and Healthcare Center is sharing good news. They often know people only pay attention in a tough time when facing health challenges. However, there's positive impacts being made almost on a daily basis at HNJH. Clinic renovations have recently been completed. There's new leadership at the helm this year. The hospital has welcomed in several new providers. They're offering new services, including massage therapy. Programs include their first ever Women's Resource Fair. And coming up in August, the 5K Walk and Run for Joy will benefit local student athletes. Learn more about all the great news happening at Helen Newberry Joy Hospital and Healthcare Center in a special feature in this week's Good News issue of the Newberry News. One local student is getting a chance to follow her dreams by attending a prestigious camp. 11-year-old Lydia Feldhusen of Newberry will be attending Interlochen Arts Camp. It's the nation's premier summer arts program, which welcomes in aspiring artists in different fields in grades 3 through 12. Feldhusen is the daughter of Eric and Kendra Feldhusen of Newberry, will be studying the Art Exploration Program at Interlochen this summer. That allows students in grades 3 through 6 to experiment with a variety of different art forms. Under the guidance of interdisciplinary arts division directors, students explore acting, creative writing, musical instruments, visual arts, and an outdoor environment. Learn about Feldhusen's trip and more from the Interlochen Arts Camp in the Good News edition of the Newberry News. Summer vacation will soon wind down. I know that's not good news, but it could be for the students at Three Lakes Academy. When school does get underway, students will be welcomed by a brand new playground at Three Lakes Academy. Students at Three Lakes Academy in Curtis will be excited to see the massive new playscape, which was recently installed on the school playground in Curtis. The colorful new equipment was installed earlier in the summer following a gift from the estate of former Curtis resident John Gowan, passed away in September of 2024. Gowan left a generous gift of money for the school to leave behind a legacy and impact the community for many years to come. Three Lakes Academy will host a special dedication ceremony for 11 a.m. on September 20th and is welcoming the public to that event. Those are just some of the good news stories you'll find in this week's special Good News issue of the Newberry News. It's available now. Time now to check in with sports this morning. Good news for Engadine athletes. Preparations underway for the upcoming fall sports season at Engadine Consolidated Schools. Engadine will be hosting its school year kickoff meeting coming up next week. Parents, athletes, and coaches invited to the Engadine Fall Sports Meeting. It'll be Monday, August 4th, 6 p.m. in the high school gym. Athletes and families are asked to attend so that they can meet the coaching staff, address any questions about the upcoming sports programs, volunteer opportunities, and much more as the Eagles prepare for the 2025-2026 school year. Engadine's fall sports meeting again takes place Monday, August 4th, 6 p.m. in the high school gym. 3 in a row, that's good news for the Tigers, who blasted the Arizona Diamondbacks 12-2 at Comerica Park yesterday. 6 runs in the 5th inning highlighted the night. Tigers got 3 home runs. Gleyber Torres, Riley Green, and Zach McKinstry went deep in that big 5th inning for the Tigers. Detroit also got 2 runs in the 4th and 3 in the 6th, tacked on 1 in the 8th for good measure. After a tough stretch, the Tigers are roaring back at home, 63-46 on the season, first place in the American League Central. Latest local weather forecast for you here on a Wednesday. Mostly cloudy skies, becoming sunny in the afternoon. Have to battle those hazy conditions again. Highs in the low to mid-70s today with a north wind 5 to 10. Thursday, plenty of sunshine. Highs a bit cooler, low 70s. Northeast winds 5 to 10. Friday, sunny. Highs in the upper 70s. I'm Dan Hardenbrook. Glad to have you along. This is your Newberry News Update on M123 FM.
Covering stories that interest the community, readers have come to depend on the Newberry News. Subscribe to the digital edition for early Wednesday morning access or get the print edition delivered to your doorstep. The Newberry News, your news and information leader.